I swam up on the riverbank and I looked at the damage and I was pumping blood out of an open artery and I could see my heart beating. And I fell over backwards. Everybody thought I was dead, but I was tired. I was, swimming and burning will do that. And helicopter landed to pick me up. They rolled me on the stretcher and away we go, and the medic thinks I'm dead. And he's filling out my death report. And I knew I had to get his attention. I said, medic. And really, he almost jumped out of the helicopter and the pilot lost control and we're dropping like a rock, and I thought, oh Lord, we're going to crash and I'll be the only survivor. But they got me to Japan and I asked for a mirror. I said, Don, I'm going through the Valley of Tears here. This is going through the Valley of Tears. I'm in Japan and I asked for a mirror and they held it over my face. And I knew she wasn't going to love me then. I knew it was over. Because, she married a handsome young prince, ends up with a frog, and that's not the way that story's supposed to end. And so they walked away, and I'm ashamed to tell you what I did. I tried to kill myself. I didn't. That means I love you, but my thumb got blown off, so I speak sign language with a lisp. It means I love you. But I didn't have a gun and I didn't have a knife, so how do you kill yourself? I pulled the tube out and I laid my head back and I waited to die. And I got hungry. It was the wrong tube. You can die that way, but if you smell one taco, you're plugging that tube back in. See, God had a plan for my life, and I couldn't see it at the time because it hurt so bad. You ever put your face in the pillow to scream and lift your head to breathe and see that your face came off and was stuck to the pillow? I know what pain is. I do. I know the worst pain is when a little child runs up and looks at you, screams, and runs away. It doesn't help, and I go, I'd probably, but little snot. Sometimes they don't run; they just stand there and pee all over themselves. Well, they got me to America and put me at Brooke Army Medical Center. I was there for a year and 2 months, and they let visitors come in. The guy in the bed next to mine was 100% third degree, no skin. He was guaranteed to die. No one's ever survived that. And his wife came in, threw a ring on the bed, and she said, you're embarrassing, walked out. And I thought, well, God help us, that's what's going to happen. She's only a teenager, not prepared. I braced. I couldn't find a way to take my life. So I just bore down and said, it's going to happen. She walked in and this is your fault. This is your fault. She walked in and bent over and kissed what was left of my face and told me, welcome home. Oh, I got to tell you, I got a good woman for a wife. Awesome woman. Couldn't be here without her. I love her. 44 years together. Isn't that awesome? 44 years. Man. But I got to tell you quickly, and then I'll be winding up. These little lights are coming on. And so, really, I want to be clear about it. But when I got to America, they took me into a room called the debridement room, and that's where they put you in water and splash water on you, and then your charred charcoal flesh, which is hard as a rock, and they soften it and then they rip it off. And I don't want to make you sick, but it really hurts. My gosh, I can't even tell you how bad it hurts. And they put me on the gurney and took me back, and they said, in the morning at 8:30 we'll do this again. I said, well, let's keep that our secret. Let's don't tell anyone. Now I can't sleep. I know hell's coming on a gurney tomorrow. Please don't tell me that. And next morning they're struggling to get me over on the gurney to take me in. And they were having trouble getting me over to the little roller gurney. And a man walked up, 6'5", solid as a rock. Big, when he moved, cannonballs popped up on him. And he was bald and he was black, and his name was Rosie. That's the truth. Rosie had a tattoo and everything. He said Rosie, so he could remember. And he walked up there, and with just gentle, giant hands, he pushed everybody back. And like a forklift, he slid those hands underneath me and picked me up. And my head rolled against his giant chest, and I looked up in the face of a man that I couldn't believe could pick me up like that. And then he walked all the way to debridement, and he lowered me into the tank, and they did their thing, and I'm bowed up with only my heels and my head touching, and I just want to scream. It hurt so bad. And they looked over and said, he's had all he can take. Rosie, come help him. And he picked me up, and as he was carrying me back, as he walked, he said these words to me: "You'll be fine, big man, you'll see. You'll be fine." Again, he said it. "You'll be fine, big man, you'll see." He said that like a mantra until he got me there and laid me down. And this giant African American who was so how shall I put it? He didn't give a rip about color. He cared about me. I was what he cared about. And he bent down and he kissed my forehead like a mother would kiss a child. And he looked me in my good eye and he said, I want to tell you, you'll be fine, big man. You'll see. And he walked away. And here I am at the Kennedy Center. I think he knew what he was talking about. Well, I'm just fine. And some said, well, who was he? So in my tours all over the world, I travel and I check audiences out, and I look for a guy about 6'5", 350 pounds, bald, black, named Rosie. I never found him. But I come across a few of my nurses every now and then. I'll say, have you seen Rosie? Wow, we forgot about him. I said, well, where is he? I don't know, they say. Well, what was his real name? I don't know, they say. But where did he come from? Well, I don't know. Well, when did he get there? When you did. Well, when did he leave? When you did. My friends all tell me he was an angel. Don't be offended. Don't clap, because really I kind of hope not. See, if he's an angel, he's on an assignment. But if he's a man, he's on a mission. I'm a man on a mission. And God had a plan for my life. And one man that didn't let color stand in the way gave me enough to roll the rest of my life on. And when they called me after 9/11 and they said, would you go to our troops downrange? I said, where's downrange? I found out they sent me to Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Oman, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Afghanistan. And then when we went into Iraq, they held me back and said, we don't want a Vietnam veteran getting killed in this war, so we'll call you when we get there. And they got to Baghdad and called. And now I leave in tour number 6 in a few weeks, still working with our troops downrange. Because you see, God had a plan. And the reason we can sit in this room right now, in this era of weeping, in this era of tears, in the mass murder of so many millions, it seems that we never have an end to the deaths. There's a reason the Taliban don't have hand grenades rolled down this aisle, and Al-Qaeda doesn't have a truck bomb in that parking lot. You can thank the United States military for standing up for you. It's called honor. Honor. God bless our troops. So, with that, the red light came on, and I'm going to tell you, my name is Dave Reaver, and I approve of this message.